It says you're live.
Where does it say that?
It just popped up on the screen.
Oh yeah, it says ending there. All right. Well then, we are live at 7:30. How you doing?
What are we doing?
So we went live tonight because we wanted to talk about the pig butcher that we did yesterday. So we've been raising a pigs. We raised 3 pigs this year, and we took 2 to the butcher 2 weeks ago, the end of October, and we had 1 left, and that was our pig. We were going to butcher that for us, and we did yesterday, and that was our first butcher on farm of a pig. And thanks for joining. What's up? We got Daniel Teague. Daniel Teague. How you doing? It went well. It went well yesterday. So I've been around a couple of pig butchers last year, but we've never done one ourselves. And so we had some friends that are good at pig butchering, and they came to the house and helped us kill and scald here. And then we took the pig to their place and did all of the cutting up there.
So let's talk about the day. When you woke up, what was the first thing that you did?
I got up at like 6 or so, and I needed to start a fire because we have one of those county line troughs that you get at Tractor Supply. We use it to brood our chicks. I do ice baths in it, and we used it to dunk our pig yesterday. So I had that, put it up on some cinder blocks and built a fire under it. Took me a while to get a hot fire because we were in Maryland here, and it was wet the day before, so it took a while to get the fire going. But we got it going. Got the temperature up to 150 degrees.
That was not easy, right? So the goal was to get it started by 8:30, and
we wanted to kill the pig at 8:30.
It was not hot enough.
It wasn't hot enough until around 9.
We needed it to be. So it was like 7:45, and it was only like 78 degrees. So
Barry got there with a couple of his sons at around 8, and the fire was at like 75 degrees.
Yeah. So we had to wait. We had to wait a little bit until it got hot enough.
Yeah.
And then once it got that right temperature, it was like, okay, we have to do this now. Yeah. Like right now.
And so we have to kill the pig, stick the pig, which is where you go into the jugular and start bleeding it, and then pick it up and scald it, and then start scraping it. And so Barry asked me, he's like, how much of this do you want to do? Because they know how to do it. They're able to do it. They actually had the gun that we needed. I had a 22, but they needed a 22 Mac. You could use a shotgun as well, but 22 was all we needed to kill it. And I said, I've seen them do it several times. I said, I want to do it all because I want to be able to do it here without you next year. So they're like, okay. So we gave me the gun. We talked over again where to shoot it. You basically want to do a crisscross between their eyes and their ears, and where those lines cross is where you want to put the bullet, and then you want to go perpendicular with the gun to their skull. Right, so if their face is down, then you want the gun nice and low to come right into their skull. So 1 shot, took it down. That was good. We gave her an apple.
But
she went down to get the apple.
I think the cool part about it was, they trusted you to do it. So Barry has his farm where he raises pigs, and he brought 3 of his sons with him. Yeah. But they did such a great job coaching you, I feel like, saying, there's no rush, even though the water was the right temperature, there's no rush. Take your time, until you get the right spot, the right moment to do it. So I thought that was he did a great job just, making sure everything was nice and calm and reassured you that you could do it. And
Barry's a pig farmer. He's he specializes in charcuterie and older pigs down in where he is. And so I've seen him kill, and sometimes you wait like 5 minutes for the right shot. You got to wait for the pig to get his head right where you want it, then you can make sure you kill it 1 shot. You don't want to have to be chasing the pig down the paddock, trying to make it dead. But 1 shot, and she dropped right down, and then someone grabbed the gun from me and handed me the knife, and it went right into the jugular and up to the spinal cord, and just up and down a couple times. Pull the knife out, and she bled really good. And you like our dog? Yeah.
She's pretty cute.
We like her too.
She only comes over here to be pet when we're doing something on the computer, though.
So then
I didn't see that part.
Oh, no, yeah. I shot it. You walked away.
I wanted to be able to watch I wanted to be able to see you do it. And I debated the night before, like, should I watch or should I not? And I just like immediately started crying. It was sad. It was really sad to see her die. It's not like you don't know what's going to happen, but to like
last
see
year,
it happen.
Last year was our first time with pigs, and I took them to the butcher, all three of them, and I felt bad leaving them there, you know. But I took 2 pigs to the butcher this year, and I didn't feel too bad about it. And the one that we killed today, we killed chickens this year and last year. This is our first big animal that we've killed.
It's different to kill a chicken than, I don't know.
It is and it isn't.
It's just different. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so I shot it. Rachel was there, but then she walked away.
Are there county ordinance for harvesting your pigs, discharging a firearm?
There are in some counties, but
it's very quiet.
I mean,
that gun that you shot.
It was just.
It's just a little pop noise that it makes. So, yeah.
So then it's bleeding out and it's on the ground right here. So it's at 9:00 in the morning, 9:15 now. I'm sorry. I guess we should say we did read a poem by Wendell Berry. I don't have it. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, but it was nice. He read a poem, said a little prayer, took a shot of American honey, and then
not me.
We didn't do that. Shoot the whiskey.
I don't need to be drinking whiskey at
and then drinking and then go shoot the firearm to the live animal. So then we took care of the pig. So the pig's bleeding out. Then we had a friend of ours come with a mini skid loader, and he picked up the pig and took it over to the sauna, you know, the hot tub for the pig, and we dumped it down into there like 3 times or so. Let it get good, and so that the hair started to come right off.
Yeah.
And then from there, we put it up on top of a stack of pilots. And there's a bunch of pictures. We tried to document this on video, and I'll try to make a video about this, but it's tough to do things and record yourself doing things.
Daniel, that 22 was like so quiet. I expected it to be really loud, but I don't know a lot about that stuff. But it just happened really quickly.
Oh, you live in Baltimore?
I think
Baltimore County.
You know Daniel.
Daniel.
You know Magnolia.
Oh,
Farm.
I didn't notice the last name. What's up, man? Yeah, you might not be able to shoot down where you're at.
I don't know. It's really quiet.
I thought they were down in Montgomery County.
I think you're Magnolia Urban Farm, right?
That's not
the same Daniel.
I think it's a different Daniel. Are you Magnolia Urban Farm,
maybe
Daniel?
I'm wrong. See, I told you.
Oh, you are. Okay, I thought you were in Montgomery County.
No, he's out like Catonsville, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so you can follow along with the pictures from Instagram. I'll try to make a video. I know I recorded footage, but we'll see what I put together.
Come here.
Come on. So then we had it up on the pallets that we got from a friend, just a stack of pallets.
Yeah.
And then we went to town scraping.
Yeah, there's these little tools you use to scrape the hair out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go to town. And then if it wasn't coming out easily, we filled another.
Yeah.
We took some Tractor Supply 5-gallon buckets and just filled it. And
so there's two ways that you can get the hair off a pig. You can do the dunking method where you dunk the pig in, then you can just scrape it off. Or you can do the pour over method. Which is you just pour hot water on top of the pig and then you can scrape it off that way. So the pour over method, the temperature you want it to be closer to 200 degrees. The dunk method, you want it to be like 155.
You don't want to start cooking your pig.
Yeah. So then we scraped it. That probably took about an hour. 4 or 5 guys walking around the pig, scraping different areas of it. You scrape it for a long time, and then you finally get one side good. You roll it over, and it's like you're starting all over again. You're like, oh my gosh, it's all this hair still.
It was everywhere.
So then we got all the hair off, and it was probably like 50 degrees now because it was nice and cool in the morning, but it's probably like 50 degrees in the afternoon. And so what we decided to do is to take the delicious stew that my wife made.
You forgot about the part where you.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot more. So after we get the hair off the pig, then we hung it back up and we cut it open. So we had to go like that
to get the organs out.
Yeah.
And everything.
And so the way we did that was we started right around the butthole and we cut basically the tube, the end of that out, right? And to the point where I can tie a string around it so that it stays there. So then once that happens, then you start cutting around. You don't want to hit that
little sack, otherwise it'll be bad news.
I don't know what sack you're talking about. The pea?
No, like the stink sack.
No,
that's just
the stink sack.
Oh, you told me like the bladder part.
Well, that's where the butt comes out, the butthole there, and then it's attached to the poop tube.
We'll talk about buttholes more.
Yeah. So you don't want to cut through the poop tube.
Yeah.
You cut around it. But you cut around it and you detach the butthole from the body and then tie it with string so that you can pull it out if you need to. And then you can go around the front and then you can start gutting that way. And then we first started cutting the top. There's a pelvic bone that you have to cut through with a meat saw. Not through the whole pig, just a bone in front to get through that.
And what is a meat saw? It's just a hand tool.
Meat saw is like a huge hacksaw.
It's just by hand, like you're just doing it by hand.
And then just kept going down the line there. This was a female pig, so there was no pizzle in the front there. And, just you got to go through a couple different layers of fat where you finally get into the intestines. And then once you did get in there, start with the knife pointing out towards you to get through. And then you kind of open it up, and then you can basically keep whittling around till you find the digestive tract, where you can cut around all the way to the backside.
But you've never done this before.
I've seen it done.
Folks that were coaching you through it, and he was able to do all this.
Yeah, I did the whole thing, and I didn't cut into the poop tube, so that was good. Yeah. Didn't get sprayed with anything. They say you got to keep your mouth closed, just like when you're butchering chickens. Don't lick your lips.
Gross. Yeah.
But so then once we got down to the sternum area, then we pulled out all the intestines, and then we started going into. And
what did you do with all that?
I just threw it in the compost.
I know what you did, but
yes. So
if you have to pull out the intestines from the animal, what are you going to do with it?
Right. So you want to compost that. We have chicken run, but they didn't really care too much for it. But you don't need any of that stuff unless you wanted to try to clean out your intestines to use for casings. But that's a lot of work.
We're not doing that.
So we weren't planning on trying to do that. So after you get through the digestive tract, then the next thing you're going to come across is the liver and the pancreas. So those we did keep, and so those came out before you get down to the heart and the lungs. And it was interesting having to dig in there to pull that stuff out. I don't know if you guys ever gutted a pig before.
Hey,
what's up, Mud Tramp? If you guys ever gutted a pig before, but you have to dig in there and pull that stuff out because you get down to the sternum, and we're not cutting into the sternum just yet. We do cut the pig in half at some point, but not at this point. So all of the organs are still intact and everything. The digestive stuff is already out of the way in a trough down there. Then we get rid of that. Then you kind of dig out the liver and the spleen. And the spleen had that really cool thing I took a picture of today with the caul fat.
It's called caul fat. So have you guys seen caul fat before? It's like
a net of, like a spider web of fat. It's really cool.
You can use it to cure, for cured meats, or
you can wrap things up with it,
like you could do a pate or something like that. Yeah.
So it's attached to the spleen, and we put a picture of that up as well. And so you got the spleen that we kept, the caul fat, the liver. The liver has a bile sac. If anybody's ever gutted a chicken, you see that little bile sac that's attached to the liver. Imagine, the bile sac for the pig was the size of the chicken's liver, and we probably got 5 pounds of liver.
A lot of liver. Yeah.
So once that comes out, then you cut through the diaphragm, and then you're going to get into the heart and the lungs, which was that was actually kind of hard for me to get out, but again, because it's even farther down towards the head, you really got to reach in and yank this stuff out. So,
were you feeling nervous while everyone was watching you do all this? Because at this point I was inside making food for everybody, so I don't. No,
I wasn't feeling nervous. Everybody was really nice.
Everyone's standing there watching you reach your arm into.
Well, I can't see anything but the inside of a pig, so I know they're all back there.
You didn't feel pressured that everyone was waiting on you.
They're probably happy that they're not the ones sticking their arms in a pig, So,
Mateo was like, "Why don't you take a big whiff?"
Yeah. So then once we get the heart out and the lungs out, then we start cutting the pig in half. Yeah. I think that was the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because once the butt's out and everything's all cleared out of there, then the next thing we have to do is cut that whole pig in half.
And the funny part was when you went to cut the skin, you're like, wait, I have a good tool for this. He went and grabbed the kill knife that we use for when we process our chickens, because that thing is super sharp.
Yeah, the kill knife that we use for our chickens worked out really well for that. You want to make sure you have a sharp knife, obviously.
He said, wait till you have to stick your complete arm up a cow to deliver a calf. Maybe one day. Our pig was really ornery a week ago. Yeah.
And I talked to Barry, who's a pig farmer, and he told me that she was probably in heat.
Acting all kinds of crazy.
So I can only imagine trying to do AI with a pig that's in heat.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Rebecca. So then what? So at this point, we had to decide, okay, it's time to take a break. Do we want to eat here?
Well, hang on. Let's talk about the cut in half. So
I thought we were done talking about that.
So we cut it in half.
We still have a lot of day to talk about.
Yeah. So we cut the daggum thing in half from top to bottom, and that took, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes to cut it in half. Yeah. And the whole pig, I'll just say this, so then we can move on. The pig weighed 284 pounds, which I was thinking she was going to be 300, but I guess she was a little less. Yeah. But that's okay. It was still good. And then we have the pig now in half. We threw it in the back of the truck. 2 guys can carry half a pig easy enough. And then we went to
right. So we had to just because I had we wanted to take a break and it was lunchtime. We wanted to feed everybody. So we said, do we stay here and eat here, or do we head down the road? Because we had to get to their farm, and he has actually a cold room at his house. So we thought that would just be safer for the meat. So
the only other choice was to buy ice. And
so we drove a half an hour down the road to his farm, and then
Rachel packed
put it
up
in the cold room. I just literally walked out the door with my Dutch oven that had food in it.
Yeah.
Threw everything in there. Luckily, we had packed the car up the night before with literally everything that we would need seasoning wise. We had our vacuum sealer, everything to package it. The only thing I forgot was a Sharpie, which next time I won't forget that.
Don't underestimate the
I ended up with
a
super
Sharpie.
dull Sharpie trying to label all of these bags the whole time. So we had an awesome meal together. We sat down and broke bread and
got to see Barry's farm again.
And then it was back to work.
Then we went into the butchery, into the garage where he's got his butcher block set up. I can't read that.
It says they're talking to each other.
Oh, okay, great. I need to get like the grandpa ones.
Yeah, I can read it. He needs glasses, I think. I don't know.
So
we pulled half of the pig.
We pulled half the pig out, and Barry
He's got like this amazing table that are like butcher blocks. You call it, right?
Butcher block.
Like huge table.
That's big tables.
Yeah.
And so we cut the head. Well, we cut half the head off, right? Because we cut in half all the way nose to tail, or tail to nose.
So then you guys cut the jowl.
Right. Well, first we took the head off by cutting down through the neck up here, went there, and then just folded it over. Then I took the tenderloin off, which was under the spine inside the body. Then the leaf fat came off with the kidney. So then after that, we would cut the back side off, and then the front side off.
It was nice too, because when we sat down to eat lunch, we were able to have time to talk about like what cuts we wanted and what we wanted to do with what half and what our options were.
Yeah.
So
each half of the pig is basically 4 pieces, right? So you've got your back piece, which is your ham, your front piece, which is your butt, which is where the roasts come from for pulled pork and stuff. And then the middle part, imagine if you cut that in half long ways, the top part would be your tenderloins and your pork chops, and the bottom part would be under the ribs would be your bacon, right? So
the belly.
Yeah, the pork belly. So we did
the first half. We did boneless pork chops. We did
a roast.
We got a bunch of roasts out of the shoulder roasts out of
We got 3 roasts out of the shoulder, and then there was still plenty of shoulder left, and that's where a lot of sausage comes from.
Yeah. So we had to make a choice because we did want sausage, so we gave up a little bit of the shoulder because apparently that's like.
But it's not it's not really so much like giving it up, because when I was out, you were making soap with Laura, but so the pork butt, the shoulder. The pork butt.
They do that?
I don't know why they call it that. Don't worry about it. So the pork butt has, your big roasts with that cool flat bone in it that you see sometimes at the grocery store when you buy them. But when you take the bones out of that roast, out of that cut, it just kind of flops around. So you basically kind of look around and see, well, where can I make a roast out of this? And so this is kind of a roast. Okay, there's a roast, and there's a roast, and so there was 10 pounds of meat that just didn't really turn into a roast anywhere.
And
so
that
we
goes
just kind
into
of
a pile of
we'll just make that into sausage, because it's still good meat, but it's just not.
It doesn't form.
It doesn't.
Like perfect.
It wouldn't go well on a smoker, So.
What else did we do out of the first half? The cool thing that I thought, which I've never had this from a pig before, is they did like a flank and a skirt steak.
Yes.
And I feel like people usually hear that out of a cow, but I've never had it from a pig before, so that's really cool. So I don't know if you guys have had flank steaks and skirt steak out of a pig before, but we have that to try. So.
Yeah, we I don't trust butchers. You know what I mean? So I don't know what goes on in there. I don't think that they're all evil people. I'm sure
but they have a job to do, and
they have a job to do, and their priority is not my pig necessarily. Right. So our job all day yesterday was to prioritize our pig. Right. So we were able to do that.
Little to nothing was going to waste. So
yeah, it's all in the freezer.
Yeah.
Danny. In fact, we have a fridge down. Oh no, I'll skip with this story.
Yeah. Focus.
So we took one ham and it's actually still down at Barry's house. He, like I said, he does professional charcuterie stuff. So Rachel heard him say that he could turn it into spec, and so her eyes lit up.
That's like an 8-month curing process, whereas some of their things are like 2 years. So we figured, okay, 8 months.
We might just let him turn one of our hands into spec for us. And we have the other one that's here in the house, and we just started curing that and put it in the fridge downstairs. As you guys
were cutting stuff up, I then started just sealing everything.
Yeah.
That vacuum sealer got a workout yesterday.
We brought the vacuum sealers with us, and as we started piling up the roasts on the side of the table, Rachel started firing up the sealer and just wrapping it all up.
The other smart thing I did was we had just gotten half a cow a couple weeks ago, and so I saved the big, huge, like sturdy boxes that the cow came in. Mm-hmm. So I brought those with us to just throw everything in, and we were able to pack that. And do we get a replacement freezer? Do we get a freezer in place of the fridge? So we got one.
He's probably talking about the fridge in my video because we bought one with the fridge.
Oh yeah. They replaced
that.
That was a mistake, but we actually got another one that which that's a long story, but we ended up getting a used one that's a convertible fridge freezer, which I never would have shopped for, but it's been super helpful. We've used the refrigerator, and so when we came home, we tried desperately to try to fit everything in the other freezers without having to convert it, which we're super thankful, because then fast forward today, like we started curing our bacon, ham, and all that stuff has to stay in the fridge for like the bacon has to stay in there for 7 days. The ham should probably be in there for about 2 weeks.
Probably 2 or 3 weeks.
So if we didn't have the freezer space for that, I don't really know what we would do.
So it's nice for the fridge space.
Yeah, that fridge freezer convertible has like everything in there. So jackalopes. Rebecca, where do you live? Or no, wait, which one's Rebecca?
Rebecca's the Muddy Tramp.
Yeah, Rebecca, where do you live?
So we have, I don't know how to say the size of those boxes. They were big boxes.
They're huge.
They're like bigger than a paper box.
Yeah.
Maybe twice the size of it. So we filled 3 of those up.
Yeah,
with our
Rebecca, we have a chest freezer.
Texas.
Two standing freezers, and then the one that's the fridge freezer convertible.
Yeah.
So we have 3 freezers plugged in right now, in addition to like the regular one we have in our kitchen. So yeah, people think we're crazy, but we're prepared in case the world ends tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got 3 of those boxes full of meat from the one pig, the 300-pound pig, but that's not counting.
Right, that's not even counting
the hams,
the 2 hams.
Either ham.
Yeah, so it was more meat than
it would be 4 boxes really, or more than that. Yeah. Probably 4 boxes.
But the boxes also though had the bones in it. So I don't think you can count that either. But the hams would not have fit in those boxes. Yeah. Because we got, like, right now we have broth going in there, and the fat's being rendered so that we can use the lard and everything. So, yeah.
You are not the only one.
Yeah. Rebecca. No, people think we're crazy, but, whatever.
Texas. Well, Texas is huge.
Yes.
I don't know anything about Texas, except I go to Houston sometimes.
Where in Texas are you?
I know that Texas has trees and deserts.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else with the first half of the pig? I did was press that vacuum seal button all day. They kept handing me stuff. I'm like, stop handing me meat.
We finally got the second half of the pig done that before dinner. Mm-hmm. And then we got all of the sausage ground, which was
right. So, but the second half, we chose to do some things differently. For that half, we chose bone-in pork chops.
Oh, that's right.
To just do a little variety. We still got a bunch of shoulder meat.
Did Barry cut those up with you? Those pork chops, the bone-in.
I didn't cut it up. He made the decision. He asked me, and he said, "Let's just want to leave these bone-in." Sure.
Okay.
And then. But I just asked him what was easier, and he said it made no difference. So just to have a little variety with what you wanted. I'm trying to think if we did anything else differently on that side. Do we do anything else differently? I don't think so.
No, except for the ham. Like one ham is going to be is left there and one's here. But then then
piles were started, right? We had you guys had all these piles going. There was a pile of leaf fat, which is like the fat that's around the kidney, like your good fat that you want for cooking and baking. Then there was soft fat. Where are you guys pulling all that from? Just
any fat that was not leaf fat.
And then where did the hard fat come
The hard
from?
fat is what's right next to the skin.
Okay. So after they had these piles going on, they had a separate pile of like sausage stuff. So anything that they cut off, or, you know, things that we were planning on grinding up later into our ground.
Yeah. So the sausage, you want your sausage to be 70-30%. So 30% fat, 70% meat. So when we had our pile of meat for sausage, we looked at it and we were like, well, it looks like about 10%. You know, that's kind of typical because there's some fat that goes in there.
Right.
But it looks like about 10% meat, 10% fat.
So you want to only put that hard fat.
So the hard fat gets mixed into your sausage. Right. So that's why you're separating it in different piles. In fact, we used all the hard fat from our pig, and we needed more to get 30%. So thankfully, Barry had, you know, bags of hard fat from his 500-pound pigs that he slaughtered.
And why did he say you don't want to use the soft fat?
I don't remember the reason.
I think it could gum up your meat grinder.
It's possible.
If you put it in there and it's soft. I'm not sure. Yeah. So what else? So at this point, we had to decide if we were going to then take all that sausage stuff and bring it home to grind it today, which was tomorrow, or just do it there. And we kind of felt like we didn't want to at least I always feel like I don't want to wear my welcome, but they were like, you know, we got this going. Let's just keep powering through. So they busted out the meat grinder, and we had decided on which types of sausage we wanted before we got there. So we knew we wanted a salt and pepper. We wanted like a breakfast sausage, and then a sweet Italian sausage. So we were able to split it into thirds. So I think we had 13-pound piles, right, of sausage. So by we, I mean, Barry did a lot of math to figure out the ratios, because the recipes that we had had percentages of what percent of salt, pepper, and all that you wanted in there. So we just did one ground and then mixed all the seasonings in by hand. Yeah, it didn't take too long. And then I couldn't keep up with the sealing at that point. Yeah. Because they just kept handing me meat. And I'm like, I can't, my vacuum sealer can't go this fast. And it is a nice vacuum sealer. It was nice though, because it was cold outside. It was like a refrigerator outside. So my hands were cold, but the meat was staying healthy and good because it was not getting I put on his Carhartt jacket. I was freezing. I couldn't wait to go home. And so what seasonings do we? So the salt and pepper one obviously is just salt and pepper. The breakfast one has salt, pepper, and then poultry seasoning in it. Typically the breakfast sausage is salt, pepper, and sage, but the poultry seasoning had sage and cayenne and onion powder and a couple other things. So we thought that would be nice. And then the sweet Italian, we did obviously salt, pepper. We did a smoked paprika, a little bit of fennel that we ground up the fennel. And I think that's it, right? I don't think there was anything else in there besides those things. Yeah. Pretty basic. So, I mean, you can still add what you want when you're cooking, but they smelled really good. That smoked paprika, I don't know if you guys have ever used that. Smoked paprika is where it's at. Stuff is amazing. It's a good seasoning. Yeah. Hey, Rebecca, I see your comment. I'm really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. But, hopefully you're happier when you go back to Arkansas. So, your shirt is very amazing. My shirt? Yes. Yes. Surely, Jason Contreras at Sutherland. Yeah. He's doing pretty good. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to talk about or just overall? I know that you're talking about matter-of-factly the processes, but take a minute to think about what that experience was like, or I don't know, if someone asked you, how did the day go besides good, what would you say about it? I would say that it was a very fulfilling day. Yeah. We got a lot of work done. I learned a lot. Yeah. So you've seen it done before, but really they were amazing because anything that you wanted to do, which was all of it, they coached you through it instead of just saying, I'm going to do it for you, and they were super patient. I hadn't done any of those steps before. Yeah. So I'd only watched them. I was right there next to them when they were gutting the pig at Barbarians a couple times. I was right there next to them when they shot them. Right. So I was doing it is so different than doing it watching. Is very different than watching. Because and if you guys have ever hunted before, when you shoot an animal, right, your blood races. It wasn't like hunting. Yeah. So I didn't have that exhilaration, but it was intimidating, and it was, I was very alert of what was happening, and I was happy to have the folks there that
knew everything, in case I messed something up or forgot something.
Daniel asked, what was the hardest part of it? Great question. I have a different answer.
What was the hardest part of the day?
For me, it was watching her die. I cried. It was really sad. I want to cry right now again. I mean, it's not like you don't know why you're raising the pig. And, when you take the pig to the butcher, it stresses the animal out. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever put a pig on a livestock trailer, but they do not like it.
Yeah.
They do not like it. They're making all kinds of noises. They're not happy about it. They're going to a strange place that they've never been before. So that's why we wanted to do it here, was because, it wouldn't stress the animal out. She didn't know it was coming. And it would just improve the quality of your meat by making her not stressed out, right? Because when you stress out, what happens? Like you get all tense, so we didn't want to do that to her. But I guess for me, it was so sad because I told myself I wanted to watch, but I guess I felt like mean because she didn't know it was coming. I mean, I know that was a good thing, but here she is, having a little snack of an apple. Sorry. Yeah. But, and then the next thing, it was over, like that. But I feel like those pigs, when they get on a livestock trailer to go to a butcher, they know something is up. Yeah. They know something's going to happen, but I feel like it was unfair to her, but
she might have known something was up because there were 8 people here,
I don't know.
Things were, anytime things were different, but she was totally walking up to everybody and,
so I don't know. It was just, I told Daniel, it was I was just overwhelmed. I don't know. The first time I saw the Grand Canyon, I just sobbed because it was just overwhelming with how beautiful it was. And I kind of compare this, it's not the same thing, but I was just overwhelmed with emotion with what was happening, So yeah, Daniel, we're doing our turkeys next weekend. How was the turkey butchering for you guys? Sorry, I'm tearing up again.
Oh, did you go, Daniel, to
did you go to Bethany's house?
Butcher? That's so awesome if you did.
Yeah, she said, watching the animal give its life is hard. Yeah, I know. It's true. Where are you going?
I'm going to get that Bible. Read that verse. Do you know what Genesis 9:3 says?
I don't know, but the Bibles are in the other room, so.
Look at extra Bibles in here.
Yeah. Oh, how did it go? Yeah, so I think we need to make her little traffic cone thing. Because ours are, I think, only a couple weeks younger than hers, but we're doing ours next weekend. Yeah, so that's really awesome that you did that, Daniel. I'm so thankful that you got to go be there and be a part of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure you learned a lot today too, and you're going to be able to sit down at your Thanksgiving meal and really be super grateful that you were able to be part of that process. It's awesome to be able to to think I helped do this, you know what I mean? It's really cool. So yeah.
I want to read that verse because she put it up there.
What is it? Genesis
9:3 to 9:3.
Here, why don't I look it up? So you're going to answer his question. What was the hardest part of the day
for me? So it
was long. I don't think I anticipated it. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be quick, but we got up at 6:30 and then we went to bed at midnight. That's a long day. My bedtime is 9 o'clock.
So Rachel stole my answer. That was going to be my answer because it really was a great day. Yeah. I mean, this morning we woke up to a dead turkey. That was a bummer.
Yeah.
But all day yesterday, everything went great. We enjoyed visiting with the Stolmans and hanging out with the family. Yeah. I enjoyed killing the pig and being a part of that process here yesterday morning. But I did not expect to be pulling in the house at 11:30 at night. It was a long day. My feet were sore. I was tired.
I would have worn better footwear when I went there. I knew I'd be on my feet, but I don't know why I can't. That's the whole point. Yeah, being in touch. I absolutely agree. So we had for dinner today, we had some of the ground, and I looked in my bowl. I'm like, this thing was alive yesterday.
It never was frozen.
It doesn't get any more fresh than that, right? So unless I would have eaten it yesterday. All right. So 9:3 says, everything that lives and moves will be food for you. Just as I gave you the green plants, I now give you everything. That's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Rebecca. Yeah, we read the Bible, but I haven't read Genesis in quite some time.
So opposite question. What was the best part of the day?
Oh, the best part of the day? The best part of the day, I think, for me was when the pig dropped instantly.
Oh.
Because I was worried about that. Because I've seen the pig kill not go good. So, and I knew you were watching. I knew that if you saw that not go well, that would have been even worse than if you saw it just drop real quick. So I think the fact that I made the shot right.
Yeah. I think, if you do something hard with people, then you connect with them kind of quickly, Mm-hmm. Like you've done Tough Mudders. I've never done that. But if you do a relay race or some sort of like challenging event with somebody, you instantly bond with them over that, and I felt like by the end of the day, just because we had done hard things together, that we kind of had all bonded in a sort of way, just because we were working on something that was a challenge together, I mean, maybe not so for them because they do it all the time, but I don't know, for me, that's kind of like what I felt like, that we were able to tease each other and joke around by the end of the night. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah.
Did a couple of new things together this year with the loading of the pigs. That was an interesting day.
What did someone say? You don't know someone until you've loaded pigs onto a livestock trailer with them before. So anything else from yesterday, just in general, that you want to, like, if someone was thinking about possibly doing this, what would you say to them? Obviously do it.
Well, no, not necessarily. Because
we've done both.
Have a plan.
Last year we took our pigs to the butcher. This year we did ours here. If someone was kind of on the fence between doing one or the other, what would you tell them? Or what would you say to them?
Well, you have to make sure that you have everything you need, right? So we don't really have everything we need to kill a pig here.
Right. But now we know what we would need.
We would need that. We would need to play. Well, we would need to either kill them in January when it's always
right. It has
cold,
to be cold,
you know what I mean?
Because then you can hang it outside.
Yeah, or have a lot of hands so that you can get to cutting right away.
Yeah.
Because we cut the pig up the day we killed it, so it was what they call a warm kill or a warm.
And usually, you said.
But if that pig were hanging in the cold room for 2 or 3 days,
then
it'd be much easier to cut up because it's stiffer,
Yeah.
So cutting it hot like that or warm is more difficult.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So that would be how the ideal way to do it would be to kill it in January. Let it hang in your garage. So
then you would have to think about timing of when you're getting those pigs, of when, the type of pig that we had. I don't think we should have kept until January. That would not have been what was in its best interest. But that pig was meant to live X amount of months. I don't know. It wasn't like an old heritage breed, I guess.
No, but it could. It can live long. The questions you said was, what would you say to somebody
if they were saying, "Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to butcher my pig myself or take it to the butcher"?
Well, I answer this question, or try to answer this question. I'm going to ask you guys something. What have you butchered? So leave a comment there. If there's any farm animal that you've raised and butchered, whether it's in the past or recently, we'd like to be interested in that. So what would I say to someone that would want to do it? I would say just to make sure that you have yourself a plan in place. Yeah. Whether that plan is I'm going to try to do it myself. Okay, just realize that that's quite a big.
Do it with friends.
Like you, for example, you were surprised when I said Barry's coming with his sons. You're like, I thought it was going to be you, Alex, and Barry. Yeah. But then she realized all the work that's involved.
No, that's not why. I was surprised that these folks would be so nice to give up their entire day to help us. Like, they've never met me before. You've met his sons a couple times, but that's amazing to me that someone would just give up their entire day to come help us with, our year's supply of meat. Right.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that, you want to be able to, I mean, how self-sacrificing is that? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. It would be cool to be able to help other people. Like I'm not experienced enough to be able to teach both others on this one. It's not like killing a pig. It's not like killing a chicken. There's a lot more to a pig than a chicken.
Wow. cattle, sheep, hogs, deer, rabbits, squirrels, emu, ostrich, goats. Wow,
Emus.
that's so cool. Daniel, how many turkeys did you get from Bethany? I want to know how many turkeys you got. We woke up this morning and one of our turkeys was no more.
That's sad.
I did not cry at that, but I don't cry at everything. But
I was not happy about that.
I was really
they were a
sad.
week away from being
Yeah.
processed too, so we raised them
But
the whole
the
time.
sad part is also like it's hard when you don't know what happened. Like there was no signs of a predator. Nothing got in there. There was no blood. Like
it was only 8 hours ago. She was alive.
Yeah, like we just put them away. So you got one, but you harvested 3. That's really cool.
That's cool. Good for you, Daniel.
So you were
Did you do the whole
road.
process?
Yeah, that's really
Did
cool.
you follow that turkey from start to finish?
Yeah.
Or were you sitting at a station?
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of turkeys. Did they do them all today?
I don't know if they did them all today.
Hopefully they did, because we want their scalder next weekend.
Yeah. We're borrowing their scalder from them next weekend, but he told us it was okay. So, that's really neat, Daniel. Anything else so we can wrap this up before we go? I need to memorize this verse.
Yeah, that seems like a good homesteader verse.
Yes. I feel like you're missing someone to give a huge shout out to.
Oh, we're doing shout outs? Yeah, we can do shout outs to all of the people.
I know, but I'm saying, like, we've talked about people, but we want to make sure that.
Yeah, so
shout out to Alex.
Huge thank you to.
So Alex brought us. Sorry, you can go ahead. Alex brought the skid loader. So without him, we would not have been able to pick up that pig or dunk it.
Not dunk it.
And then we went to Barry's house. His son put him to work, moving some dirt around there a little bit.
That's
so
right,
they were thankful. They're like, we got some stuff, can you just
some
use
landscaping.
that thing? So thank you, Alex, for giving up your day away from your family to come and help us do that. And I hope that you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, Alex definitely got a lesson.
Yes.
He spent the whole day.
Yeah.
He didn't leave Barry's till we did. So he had dinner with us there.
Yeah. We're like, you don't have to stay here
the whole time,
anymore if you don't want to do any more work.
He was loving it.
Yeah.
And then obviously Barry and all of his huge family. So thank you so much, Barry, for teaching us what you taught us.
And thank you, Laura,
last year
for
and
letting us use your husband for the day when he was supposed to be doing work in your kitchen.
And then I thought there was someone else that I guess no one directly. Lots of other people that have inspired us to do lots of things, but okay. Yeah. So let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed the story. If you have any questions, we did do some work today.
Yeah,
so
we took. This is the first time we've sat down all day.
We took 29 pounds of pork belly and started that on a cure with salt and syrup and pepper,
rosemary,
salt.
The salt's important.
Yeah.
So that'll cure for about 7
week.
days, and then we got. I think I said this already. We got 2 crock pots in there with the leaf fat rendering in one, and then the soft fat rendering in the other. I'll use the soft fat to make soap. I'll use the leaf fat in cooking and baking. What else did we do? Oh, we got a huge giant pot of broth going on the stove, and you got the ham.
Yeah,
started.
And so one of the hams are curing in our fridge downstairs. The other ham is at Barry's house, hanging in his cold room, and it might be there for months.
Or almost a year.
Well, it doesn't spend the year in the cold room.
Okay.
It spends its first part in the cold room, then just hangs out in the garage.
You ready to do this?
Yeah. Well, what we're doing? We're going bye-bye.
Yeah, we're going to go. Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. Take care.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the video, maybe we'll do another live stream when we do something else interesting that people might be interested in hearing about. All right. So check out the channel. We release videos every week, and although I didn't put one out this week, this is my video this week because I was too busy curing bacon all day. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Guys. Take care. Oh wait, and you were right, Rebecca. She made a comment about the verse. She has a really good verse for people that are absolutely complaining about what we do. All right, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, you're right clicking. You're right clicking.
I'm not right clicking.
On the right hand side of the This is the left one. This is the right one.
I know how to click. Why did you go past that thing?